The Bethany Spring Retreat Center is where the Merton Institute offers Bridges retreats, as well as other programs. Most Bridges groups meet weekly or monthly in a variety of venues. In effect, Bridges becomes a sustained retreat. There is no set number required for a Bridges group, though we do suggest no more than 10 to allow adequate opportunity for meaningful participation. Though each Bridges group is different, one constant is the need for a facilitator. This person essentially moderates the session, much like one would a typical meeting. Facilitating a Bridges group requires no special training or knowledge other than understanding the basic goals of Bridges. The facilitator's role is to open and close the Bridges session and attend to the dialogue process while also participating in it. We highly encourage groups to follow the guidelines for Contemplative Dialogue as described in the introduction to each volume of Bridges. The facilitator is responsible for introducing the group to the guidelines and periodically assessing how well the group is doing. After a few sessions, groups become accustomed to the process, and facilitation becomes transparent.
You do not need any special training to facilitate a Bridges program. It is designed that an ordinary person can take a look at it and say, I can do this.
Whether a group meets once a week or once a month, the time between sessions is very important. This is when the content from the readings and dialogue become part of everyday living. Taking time to reflect, finding places in our daily routine for silence and solitude, seeing the significance and appreciating the beauty of ordinary experiences, bring it all together.
Bridges is being used by church groups, by religious organizations who are doing it for their own faith development, by prisoners, by diaconate groups, by groups of friends who have stumbled on this and are doing it just among themselves, 4 or 5 people. This program is accessible to everyone. One thing about Bridges is no one's telling you you must go from the first volume to the last. You must proceed in order. You can pick and choose like a bee. You know, this is the honey my people need. No, this is what we need. And simply do it that way. So it's a very freeing program.
As a group proceeds through the 64 sessions, they discover that Bridges is really very straightforward.
It's about the spiritual life. And it's about the spiritual life that every one of us is leading, whether we realize it or not.
Contemplative dialogue is at the center of the Bridges experience. It is intended to be a time for open sharing and listening to each other's life experiences. Our experiences are roadmaps to the sacred and to deepening our core relationships. The introduction in the Bridges booklets offers some practical suggestions to help the group with contemplative dialogue. Speak from your own experience of the session's theme and resist being theoretical. As you consider the theme, ask yourself, what makes me think or feel this way? Listen to others and refrain from thinking how you might respond to what someone is saying. Avoid cross-talking. Cross-talking is when members comment on or question what others have said rather than confining their comments to their own experiences. Be concise. Share your experience or thought and then allow another to speak. It may feel uncomfortable when you speak and no one responds, but know that they have heard you and are considering your remarks in the context of their own experience. Expect and be comfortable with periods of silence during the dialogue. By following these simple suggestions, some remarkable results can emerge. A level of trust develops that allows members to freely express experiences and things that they have wondered about without concern about judgment or questioning. As experience with contemplative dialogue grows, so does the richness of its rewards. Members of a Bridges group may represent different backgrounds, cultures, and beliefs. The contemplative dialogue process honors these differences. At the beginning of this program, it was suggested that there are many ways to approach contemplative living. The same can be said of participating in a Bridges group. As is so often the case, Thomas Merton offers good advice.
The spiritual life does require discipline. It requires consistency because this is a step-by-step process. Merton said, we must realize that we will always be novices. A desert monk was asked, what do you guys do up there every day in your monastery? He said, oh, we get up and fall down, we get up and fall down, we get up and fall down. I hope people take away from the Bridges experience the realization that their lives are spiritual. The end product of Bridges should be compassion, gratitude, transparency, the desire to live as best one can every day to the fullest. Be content, be content. There is nothing further to look for except the deepening of this life we already possess. Be content.